Didn't do anything on purpose. This metabolite stays with you forever. Forever. Forever.
What a picogram is, it's taking a grain of salt and chopping it into 48 million.
Forever.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Picogram podcast, where we like to sit down and talk a little bit about these UFC pay-per-views that we love so much, and get into these fights and these fighters, and really just break it down. So we're gonna hop right into this. We're at UFC 321, Abu Dhabi. We getting that Abu Dhabi money, baby. So let's break this shit down. Card very controversial for ways that we'll get into, but for all intents and purposes, not a bad card. So we'll hop right in here. Jacqueline Amorim and Mizuki Inoue. I didn't expect much from this fight, but it kind of delivered, dude, to be honest.
Yeah.
Mizuki Inoue hasn't fought for like 2 years. She comes back to this grappling ace Amorim, which I picked this one wrong, and I picked Amorim for her grappling pedigree. Picked her to win by submission. Did not happen. But Mizuki came back and just kicked some ass. It was a pretty even fight through all out. I think, again, Amorim just did not see her not going down. And I think she expected her grappling to just negate everything that Mizuki had on the feet. And that is not what happened. And she won, or she lost, by decision. Look at those fucking numbers. 200 strikes to fucking 88. Story is told right there in the numbers. But we'll move on from that. Women's strawweight. Yeah, whatever. Flyweight belt against Azat Maxim and Mitch Raposo. I think this is the first win for Mitch Raposo in the UFC. He, good fighter, man. I think I watched him on the Ultimate Fighter, and all right, kind of, good guy. Nothing really spectacular when it comes to fighting. I don't want to sound mean about this, but there's not really a specialist. Maybe in the grappling department, I would have to say. But this fight was honestly more boring than the women's fucking strawweight fight before it, so that tells you anything about that. That's kind of how it went. Let's look at his record here. Mitch Raposo, Sumu Durji. That guy is a bad motherfucker, I'm pretty sure. And no loss to that. Yeah, this little guy. He's lost to Tim Elliott and Matt Schnell and Charles Johnson. He went on 3-loss skid there, but I mean those are fucking pros upon pros. And he lost to Louis Smolka back in the day. So all those fucking dudes, no joke. But we're getting off track here. Back to Mitch Raposo real quick. Was he in the Ultimate Fighter?
This is he was in the Contender Series a while back. Yeah, right there, the Ultimate Fighter, yeah.
Yep.
Lost.
Yeah, and he lost to Ludwig. Yeah, Mitch Raposo, I think this is his first win. Go up and see if this is his first win in the UFC. Yes, it is. So, I don't want to put any, it would be a negative Nancy here, but he may get cut off that win, just to be honest with how shit's been going here recently. Wasn't that impressive of a win, kind of a, hard-fought victory, but, he has potential. He's only 27 years old, strong base for, he's starting his, I believe I've seen him in bantamweight, so if this is him, like, starting a new life in flyweight, this might be the answer for his way his career's been going. But whatever. He won by decision, close fight. And congrats to Mitch Raposo. I hope they keep you around. Next up, Hamdi Abdelwahib and Chris Barnett. Jesus fucking Christ.
Disappointing fight.
Well, you wouldn't be disappointed if you like to see two fucking greasy rotisserie chickens fighting in a fucking cage, because I mean that is, dude, it looked like
Fighting, it was just fucking dry humping.
it was a little homoerotic, very gross to watch. Chris Barnett's pants keep falling down. Hamdi looks like a hairy fucking bear. Yeah, man, it's sad to say that not to be negative again coming off the Mitch Raposo comment, but that might be the last time we see Chris Barnett in the UFC. He's really just obviously when you look at Chris Barnett, the only thing you're going to talk about is his fucking physique and how he's really not tall enough to be in heavyweight, and he's really not, you know, he's fat. I don't know what to fucking say. You know, he's very overweight, and so he's athletic, and he comes from a taekwondo background. So don't let me like be like this is a fat lazy fucker. But it's like his body type is like lending itself to just being a fucking bowling ball. Like he has no like. You know, his base is like off or something. Because Hamdy, like when he, you know, got on him, he just controlled him. I mean, and Hamdy was you know, he looks a lot like Chris Barnett, maybe a little more in shape, but it's not much. I mean, he looks like a fucking New York taxi driver or some shit. I mean, he's just, you know, all titties. But another one, dude, I don't know. This fight was a weird fight. Chris Barnett, we may have had high hopes. He was fun to watch before the UFC. He always had like flashy highlights and like cool shit he could do. Like I said, he looks like that, but the dude can probably do a standing backflip. He can do fucking 360 roundhouse kicks and shit. So he's a character nonetheless, but 5'9", 261 pounds, you know, there's only so much you can do with that. I don't think you'll ever be a world-class fighter beating like the top of the heap with that style and body shape. Abdel Wahib, you know, he probably he would go further, depending on how long they want to sit and watch this guy just lay on motherfuckers. He didn't really try to do anything to end the fight. He didn't really throw a bunch of punches from the ground. Go to the stats real quick. Let's see how many punches Abdel Wahib even threw at all. 220. So okay, I'm talking a little shit here.
Well, there was like that one moment in the fight. It might have been the first round where the ref was like, tell him to stop doing hits to the back of the head, and then he just laid on top of Barnett for a good 30 seconds.
Yeah, and he
Didn't
elbowed
throw
him.
anything. Didn't try to move positions. Didn't do anything. Just literally laid on him for like 60 seconds and just didn't do anything.
I do remember that.
Didn't even move.
Okay, because now you're making sense. Because in the first of the fight, he did throw an illegal elbow, and I mean, he perfectly swiped back of Chris Barnett's head. I mean, just perfect
Got
swipe.
a warning and then just stopped fighting.
Stopped even attempting. He was like, you know what? You're not gonna let me fight the way I want to fight dirty, so I'm just gonna fucking Abdel Wahib on his ass. He went hamdy on him. Yeah, so that one stat right here that kind of glares out at you is he went for 14 takedowns, got 9 of them, and 0 submission attempts. So that kind of explains what we were looking at there. Just 15 minutes of 2 big round dudes rubbing on each other. So I mean, if
that's what DC's looking for in his UFC is just people that wrestle and do nothing with it.
Very DC-esque. DC was actually fucking doing work in there. And one thing DC even said, too, while these guys were doing this bullshit, and Hamdy was on top of him, like, whispering in his ear and shit, licking his neck, or whatever the fuck he was doing to Chris Barnett, which was not ending a fight. He was like, you know, this will come into play later tonight, you know, when we see heavyweights like, you know, Tom Aspinall or Jailton Almeida, you know, you'll see the same positions, but more will be done, more expertise will be used, and more shit will be utilized to fucking carry the fight on, for God's sakes. But I don't know. We'll move on.
You know, do anything but to win other than lay on top of and wait.
Lay and pray. Yeah, not great. Yeah, kind of a stupid fight. Next up, we got Nathaniel Wood and Jose Delgado. This was a good fight, man.
Good fight.
God.
A lot of good exchanges back and forth. 2 knockdowns.
I picked this one wrong, too, and it looked like it was going to go my way for a minute because I picked Jose by knockout, and my God, did he fucking put Nathaniel Wood down in the first. But Nathaniel Wood, man, just the experience that guy's got. You know, he's got twice as many wins as this guy has fights, so, I mean, it's just, you know, how it goes sometimes. Nathaniel Wood's good, dude. I think he should probably be facing a ranked opponent, you know, next. They're kind of just feeding him bullshit, and he's been around for a long time. I think they even mentioned that when Nathaniel Wood made his UFC debut, other guy didn't even start fighting yet. So he's 32. It's time to fucking give this guy some breaks here. He's got a pretty good record. lost to Muhammad Naimov and I think Casey Kenny down there. Casey
John
Kenny.
Dotson loss.
John Dotson, damn. Oh, okay. So he must have been. Yeah, he was a bantamweight. I remember this now. He was a bantamweight before he's went up to featherweight. So weight cut probably hard on him, but he's good, man. He's good and he's tough as shit. He got dropped hard, straight on his back, right back up to his feet, bloody face, and came back to stun Jose, and then it was just a pretty much back and forth from there. To a decision that Nathaniel Wood would ultimately win. So good on Nathaniel Wood. That's all really for that one. Ludwig Klein and next up, not Ludwig Klein. It is Walter Walker and Louis Sutherland. We can get into this shit, but more or less Walter Walker. We'll start with Louis Sutherland. Yeah, it was a cool debut for what honestly, they probably should have had Walter Walker fight fucking Abdel Wahib and have this guy fight Chris Barnett. That would have been better matchmaking, in my opinion. But I guess they just wanted to let Walter Walker have another fucking leg lock because heel hook. I mean, because that's what happened. I mean, he's got 4 in a fucking row. There's probably no way that'll ever be broken in any other weight class other than heavyweight. I would have to imagine, because these big dudes get on your leg like that. I mean, that's 250 pounds twisting your fucking leg, so it's a lot different than if a lightweight's doing it to you. But yeah, I think Husamar Palhares had the most leg locks in UFC. I think he had 4. Walter's at 4 in a row. So in a row. So the clean monster. God damn it, I love it. If you get caught for fucking steroids, bro, you're gonna be like fucking laughing stock of the Brazilian fight force there. Yeah, dude's
performance of the night.
Dude's doing good as fuck, man. Johnny Walker's brother, not even attempting to stand up with these dudes, just goes headfirst in, like a fucking ram or some shit, just right up to you. He's so goddamn big. He's 6'6", 260 pounds. He's a fucking animal, dude. It's gonna take eventually that's not going to work anymore. I don't know when that happens, or maybe it does work forever. I don't know, but history would tell you that eventually that shit's not going to work on some guy, and he's going to get fucking obliterated. Because one thing I notice, and I'm not a fucking jiu-jitsu expert. I hold no belts in jiu-jitsu, but here's what I see is when Walker gets on that leg, the right answer used to always be roll. Because in jiu-jitsu, you roll. You do like an alligator and you start turning with him, and if he's leaning this way, if you roll with him, you both will roll, and then it doesn't twist your fucking leg. But when somebody like Walter is that good at him, it's not fucking mattering because he's so big and he's rolling faster than you. And if he rolls faster than you, it's going to counter the fucking thing, and it's not gonna work because you got to roll with him to keep it rolling. So anyway, here's what I'm getting at. There's a point in time right before he fucking lays you flat that you are on one knee and you have the other leg wrapped up with him. If you planted a base and just bashed him in the fucking head, you can't do that in jiu-jitsu. You would never think to do that in jiu-jitsu because it's your instinct to roll like all these other dudes are doing and getting their fucking knee twisted, blah, blah, blah. But I think if you planted your fucking foot down and bashed him on the face when he is on his back, I think that would be the answer to those heel hooks. I don't know, though. I've not been in that situation, nor will I ever be, to test that theory. But if I was a coach, I would say, hey, try this, because this is almost 5 in a fucking row that he's doing this to everybody in the first round. So, I don't know. Walter Walker's fucking good, though. You got anything to add to this?
No, that was not at all.
One of my more in-depth breakdowns, I don't normally do that, nor should I, because I don't fucking know what I'm talking about, usually when it comes to fighting, but Yeah, that's one like technical thing I always see happening, and I've seen it happen 3 times in a row. I didn't really see Walter Walker's first one, but I've seen the last, 3 now, and that's kind of what I've been picking up. Is he rolls the same way every time? He grabs you and rolls the same way every time. They roll with him. He rolls faster. He twists. That's just what I see. Okay. Speaking of broken fucking ankles, Ludovic Klein and Mateusz Rebecki. Let's see where to start with this. Both these dudes are fucking good. We knew this fight was gonna be a war. Mateusz Rebecki gets fucking just bloodied every time he fights. Uh, we've spoke highly on him. His last fight with Chris Duncan was a war, was awesome fight. I made the comment look like 2 zombies and 2 like murder victims, but it's just every time he fights he gets bloody, but he doesn't stop. It's not gonna stop him. He didn't get stopped in this. Pretty much Ludovic Klein is a Slovakian ex-champion. Pop over Ludovic real quick. 2-time boxing champion. So his hands are what a douchebag would call registered deadly weapons. So he just proved it. His speed and his fucking combinations are something to behold. And we kind of seen that this would happen. It was really just a question of would he tire himself out, beating up Rebecki, and then Rebecki coming around, which is kind of what happened. Last round, Klein was, getting tired. Rebecki's still bloody, but still kind of moving that, he moves at like 70% the whole time. He doesn't ever 100% anything, but he's pretty much 70% coming at you at all times, guaranteed. He was always pressing forward, getting tagged doing it, yes, but always, kind of trying to control the action. But third round of the fight, probably 30 seconds to go in the fight. Mateusz is on his back against the cage. Ludovic comes in. He kind of crouches down on top of him, and then somehow Rebecki pushes him back. And when he does, kind of like somebody playing football or something, his ankle got twisted backwards, and he sat on it. His foot got twisted backwards, and then his ass, because he just got pushed backwards, and he sat on his foot. Fucking disgusting. Bent his whole foot backwards, but did not quit. Kind of just took the ass whooping. He took whatever Rebecki had left in the tank, because Klein was just really in defense mode at that. There was no offense at that point. He had sealed the fight up to that moment, so he knew if he just lasted, he would be fine, and fine he was. He won. So that was another kind of crazy ending to that. Broken leg. He got took out on a stretcher, putting his hands in the fucking air. Yeah, good. But that was awesome. We'll see more of Ludovic Klein. He fought 2 Mateusz's in a row. He fought Gamrot and then Rebecki in a row. So his last fight, he fought Gamrot on short notice and lost. But next fight was not great. Ikram Aliskerov and the Iron Turtle, Jung Young Park. I'm gonna try to. If I was to sell you this fight, I'd say, Ikram is usually a knockout artist. He got a lot of knockouts, and the fact that he didn't knock Park out's a little weird, but he is the Iron Turtle. He is a tough motherfucker, and he's got cardio, for days, so he just tried to keep him at bay, and it was kind of just like a fucking hug fest. Aliskerov wrestled a lot for, not really normally the wrestling that much, but he did. He got 5 takedowns and just kind of controlled Park on the ground. Kind of how that fight went. Nothing that extravagant from that one. Kind of a filler fight of the night. Kind of just leading up to this next one. Let's go up to the next fight here. Man. Nasrat Haqparast and Quinlan Sekild. Last time we seen Quinlan Sekild fight, I was very impressed. I think he fought that Indian guy who kind of sucks, so I wasn't really, kind of questions what was going on, but he proved it tonight, dude. Nasrat's a certified pro, certified vet. I don't know if he's ranked or not. Probably should be. He's kind of had a rough little go as of late, but I've seen him win some impressive fights before. But man, was going good Nasrat even looked like the sharper fighter, kind of, kept him at bay, kind of controlled the action. And then just how it goes sometimes, that one perfect head kick, dude. I mean, shin to fucking head. Even blocked it, still knocked his ass out. Didn't matter. He just perfect fucking power kick. And that Mustache Warrior took that fucking win all the way to the bank, man. I think we'll be seeing more of him. 10-1's good as fuck. I don't know if I've ever really seen him grapple, so that's a question that will always come up. But we'll see. I think he'll have something good coming up. Quinlan Sakilde, we'll look out for him. Australian guy, mullet, mustache, fucking killing it, dude. Great knockout if you didn't see. Straight, boom headshot. Was kind of bad. Honestly, scary. Nasrat went down face first, legs twitching.
Stiff.
Dude, yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's just what it was. It took a while to wake him up. They had to flip him over, and, it's a bad one when you just see Sakilde standing there with the ref. So, certified death. Looking worried. Certified death. Okay, we'll move on, though. Quinlan Sakilde, great fucking job, dude. Probably got knockout of the night, performance of the night, something like that. I don't know. He probably got a fucking bonus. On to the main card. Starting off with Alexander Rakic and Azamat Murzakanov. Hate to say I told y'all so, but god damn, I picked this one right. There was a point in time, probably like 4 or 5 years ago, maybe Pandy, before the Pandy, you would have thought Alexander Rakic was going to be the next fucking champion of the world. Big, powerful guy. Looking at these two, see if you can Google search these two standing next to each other at the, like when they're announcing the winner, because Alexander, or just do a face-off too, that'd probably work too. He towers over this, what I would call a Hamdi Abdelwahib body shape. But this guy is a fucking knockout machine, dude. I've kind of kept an eye on him because he's somebody he's so least concerned. Look at the fucking difference on that, dude. He's like the least assuming guy in that division, but you might be looking at a fucking future champion right here, dude. Undefeated. Light heavyweight. Probably should be fighting in middleweight, but he's fighting in light heavyweight. And he's fucking knocking dudes out that are like, a foot taller than him, way more in shape than him. But whatever it is that it's going to take to keep going, this guy has it. I don't know what it is, dude. He's fucking impressive. To look at, no, but to watch fight, yes. I mean, look at the fucking difference between him and Alexander Rakic, dude. That is insane. That looks like
Crazy.
That looks like Volkanovski facing off with Aspinall right there. That is insane. But nice KO in the first, my friend. Yeah, dude's just clean. He's so fast to be that fucking flabby looking. He's quick and he's fucking in and out on his feet very quickly, and more like a like what Chris Barnett wants to be, but he's mastered it. He's better at it. Volkov and Almeida. Okay. To be fair, I picked Volkov to win. I could see where people... Okay, I just want to... And I haven't mentioned this tonight. I've thought about saying this a couple times, or I could kind of shoehorn it in, but I really want to give credit to the fucking officials that were working last night in Abu Dhabi. The refs did great. There was 2-point deductions in 2 different fights. This is another thing. The judges... dude, okay, so... DC was talking about that Abdel Wahib fight, and he was like, later when we see Jailton Almeida grapple, you're going to see the difference in levels, and you're going to see him working and shit like that. Fine, what you would have thought, yes. But that's not what happened. Almeida took him down and controlled the fight for a majority of this fight. Go back real quick to the stats. Let's see a control time just real quick. Doesn't say.
We don't have that on. We don't have that right here. We gotta go to ESPN for that.
Damn it, that would have helped. Anyway, the
I'll
control.
find it. I'll find it.
Okay, the control time of Almeida was insane. He really did look like he was just out grappling fucking Volkov. Volkov has been grappling. They're talking, he's been entering brown belt competitions and winning. He's got a very unique way of grappling because he is fucking almost 7 foot tall. So, okay, it's control time. 10 fucking minutes. That's over 2 rounds. Over 2 rounds, he was telling Volkov what to fucking do, and Volkov had to listen. So, now, you can look at that control time, and normally back in the day, that's what would win you that fight. But I think we're coming to the point now where if you go up and look at the strikes, that's what's going to win you the fight. Because that is trying to change the outcome of the fight. That's actually trying to steer the fight in a direction more than a guy just successfully doing a takedown and then being on top, which is, relatively easier than being on bottom. So, I mean, you're kind of just you're sitting there working there. Almeida's boring, bro. I don't know. We had high hopes for him at one point, and he was doing great. He was on a tear, and at a certain point, he just stopped fucking trying. He thinks that, and control time was working for him. So I guess it ain't his fault if it's working and you're winning. Let's fucking keep doing it. But it did not happen this time. I'm fucking so glad that Volkov won that fight. I did not see that coming at all. Nowhere near did I see that coming. I was so surprised when they named the second judge and they had it for Volkov. I was like, damn, okay, well, whatever. And then the next thing you know, he's winning. It's kind of cool to see, honestly. It's nice to see him taking damage into consideration and not just like slowing down a fight to where there's no fight doesn't win you a fight anymore. And that's the way it should be. And I think that's the way fans want to see it. I think that's the way probably the fighters want to see it too. I mean, honestly, yeah, they even they got stood up a bunch. I mean, it was control, but it wasn't nothing happening. And, between that and the main event would make you feel like you wasted $80 on this. So, but yeah, I'm glad that Volkov won that fight.
One thing that I've noticed is I've never seen these two judges before,
Mm-hmm.
and they're the ones that scored it right. And then this dude, it's
Mike Bell.
every card. He's on every card, and he's the one that got it wrong.
That's good. I'm glad to see it. I'm glad to see they're getting new judges and they're getting new blood in there that's not from the old fucking boxing era. Because that's where a lot of these judges are from. That's where like Sal Diamato's from, Mike Bell, the fucking Adeline Bird.
Thought I'd point that out. It's the only name I recognize is the one that got it wrong, and is one of the ones that we argue about the most.
But like I said, that just goes back to what I was saying of back in the day, that would win you the fight. And if you had 3 Mike Bells right there, if you had Mike Bell, Sal Diamato, and Derek Cleary right there, you would have a win. You would have a Jelton Almeida is next in line for the fucking belt. God, the heavyweight division is in a fucking free fall, dude. And I have a theory. We'll get to it here. We got two more fights to get through, but I have a theory on why the goddamn heavyweight division is a fucking mess. Okay, up next is Umar Nurmagomedov and Mario Batista. Another one where, 2 dudes, similar styles. One is you're not going to out Nurmagomedov a Nurmagomedov. That's just kind of how that goes. Mario Batista, just kind of figured he was going to go in there and out grapple him, which is what he normally does to people. Mario can strike. If it would have been me, I would have focused on non-grappling and striking his ass since you are so good at grappling. If it went to the ground, okay, because that's where, it's probably going to go anyway. But instead, he thought he was just going to, get took down or he even tried to take Umar down a couple times, I think. Yeah, he went for one, missed it.
Once, yeah.
Dumbass. I don't know what he was doing. He wore him like a backpack for 15 minutes. So that's kind of how you, the reward you get for doing that with a Nurmagomedov. Probably going to be Umar again for the fucking belt. Who cares? Whatever. Bantamweight's a little bit, not bad though. Honestly, I ain't going to talk shit about Bantamweight because it is a champ staying in his division, clearing it out. So fuck him, just line him up, dude. If he wants to fight Umar again, who cares? There's really no one else you can really think of right now that deserves a title shot. It was Corey Sandhagen for the longest time, and he just got his shot and lost. Umar's probably got the best chance of beating Merab, but still don't see it happening. But we'll move on. What's the next fight? Verna Jandradoba and Mackenzie Dern. Man, Dean Thomas said it best when he said this is the most, I don't even want to say it as mean as him, but it's the most unconsequential fucking title fight of all time, dude. Who, is this the... Okay, so... Goddamn, one guy gave it... Sal D'Amato, our guy, gave it fucking 4 rounds to 1 to Dern, which I don't know if I agree with that.
Honestly, I could have seen either one of them winning.
Honestly, too, I'm with you. They both had good damage on their faces. For as much shit as happened, dude, it just wasn't a great fight. I don't know, man. Like, that division's in a fucking scramble, too. But here's what I'll say. That was great, title fight, new champion. But do you think either one of those performances that they put on would have did anything to Zhang Weili, who gave up that belt to fight Valentina?
No.
That's what they're saying. That's what they're trying to sell to me and you as a viewer, is those two are the two best in that division. And they may be. But goddamn, bro. Goddamn. I don't remember any... Go back to the stats real quick. I don't remember any really significant moments. I remember them kind of colliding and then going back to the corners and then looking at them and it's like, holy shit, her eye's busted. And then, holy shit, Mackenzie Dern's fucking, got a swelled up eye. It's just like, where's this coming from? But I don't... 300...
A lot of grappling, a lot of against the cage, flip-flopping, and
it's 300 strikes. So, I mean, I'm probably... A piece. And there's probably somebody watching this being like, dude, shut the fuck up. You know what you're talking about. But do you remember anything significant happening in that fight?
No, I mean, there was no knockdowns, no submission attempts. Like I said, there was a lot going on, but there's a lot of nothing.
Thank you. I didn't even notice that. No knockdowns, no submission attempts from 2 fucking highly touted black belts. I mean, it's a fucking so stupid, dude. That could have been a great grappling match. But instead, we got a shitty boxing match. With 300 strikes and no knockdowns. Is there anything in this world you can hit 300 times and not knock it over besides a fucking building? I mean, what the fuck, dude? I'm getting off on a tangent. I'm getting a little riled up here, and I'm not meaning to.
You didn't even notice that. I could tell that set you off. You didn't even notice.
I didn't. No, I didn't even think about that. And when I seen that, it kind of pissed me off to where it's like, yep, there's 25 fucking minutes of a fight and nothing happening. And that's the 2 best they got in that division. Does that deserve to be a fucking division? I'm not saying take all the jobs away from these women. I hate to even think like that. But it's almost like that should be its own fucking sport.
Yeah, where's the talent? Where's the... Why aren't we getting more talent for this?
And, I'm probably sounding like I am a douchebag. I'll take that. But I guess, and it's 115-pound women. So I don't know what that's a equivalent to a 13-year-old boy. So if you got 2 13-year-olds fighting, not a lot, you can let them fight. No, you're not going to fucking kill each other. So maybe that's what the problem lies in. I don't know. I didn't expect to get that riled up about this fight, but I was just so fucking unimpressed. So between that and then the next title fight, I guess is what is pissing me off, because I did pay $79.99 for the $83 if you want to add the tax and all that fucking processing fee and the fuck you fee and all the shit that ESPN charges you. It was $83 fucking dollars.
And I did feel bad, by the way.
Don't feel bad, dude. I feel bad. They should feel bad. They should feel fucking bad. You know, Tom.
Well, you
go ahead.
we talked about it, and you were like, I don't even know if I'm gonna buy this one. And then I was like, oh, I get that, but I was like, this would be my first Tom fight. I've never seen Tom fight ever. I watched the sport for a while and then got out of it, and I'm getting back into it. And Tom hasn't fought in 2 fucking years.
This would have been the first one. I just want to say too, I buy them all. I am lucky enough to be in a situation where right now in life, and for the last like couple of years, I have been able to afford these every month. I make it work. It's expensive, but I love it, and it's the only real sports that I care about. And we also have been doing this podcast, so it helps to have watched the shit. But, dude, they should have offered a fucking refund for this shit.
Said it. I felt a little bad. I mean, I know I shouldn't, but
No, don't.
I mean, I knew it wouldn't took a lot to fucking even convince you. I didn't even really convince you. I didn't even like, oh, you should buy it. I was just like, oh, this is gonna be my first Tom fight, and then you instantly was like, yeah, I'll buy it then. I'll buy it then. It's your first Tom fight. I'll buy it then.
You know, the thing was too is it's in the middle of the fucking day where we're at in America, so it's, you know, everywhere else they're gonna be like, shut up, dude, we gotta deal with that period. But it's like we've kind of like, you know, set up our lives to watch this shit at night and, you know, have our day throughout the day. So this took from like 12 o'clock in the morning till 6 o'clock in the afternoon. 10 o'clock in the morning. 10 o'clock in the morning until 6 o'clock in the afternoon. And so, you know,
that was the whole day.
That was the whole day. And I mean, I'm fucking tired by the time this is coming, 'cause I put in a fucking pretty much a whole day of work watching this shit. And for that to be the ending, dude, is so goddamn sad. And because here's the thing. Tom Aspinall and Cyril Gane are my 2 favorite heavyweight fighters, maybe of all time.
We haven't even said what happened yet.
We haven't even got to what happened yet. We will, and we will. But I want to set it up first. We've talked about it on here. I caught Cyril Gane before he was even in the fucking UFC. Been a fan of him ever since. Not really a fan of him right now, but we'll get into that too. Been a fan of Tom Aspinall all the way up through his fucking career. These dudes are like, you know, very stand out as a heavyweight guys. Two most fucking, you know, versatile and athletic heavyweights we have in UFC. The only 2 people that would sell a card like this. The only 2 heavyweights they could put at the end of this fucking thing to sell a card. So, all that being said, this was the worst fucking title fight of all time. This was the worst fucking heavyweight title fight of all time. I didn't expect much and was still let down. You know, a purist would say Tom Aspinall is going to go in there, take him down, and he's going to submit him like John Jones did, because Tom Aspinall is bigger than John Jones. He's not a better grappler, maybe, but, you know, definitely could do that, because we've seen him do that to Andrei Arlovsky, for God's sakes. When he fought Andre, he kind of had a back and forth with... That's the only time that Tom Aspinall has been to the second round was Arlovsky. And he kind of had a back and forth with him the whole first round. And then on that second round, he said, fuck that noise. I'm going to take his ass down and submit him. And that's exactly what the fuck he did, with no fucking pushback at all. He's so big and powerful and fast that it just was like it was just supposed to happen. Like Arlovsky never grappled a day in his life. So that's what he should have did to Cyril Gane.
I think that was his plan, though. I think his plan was to see what can I do on the feet for the first round, and then I'm going to try to wrestle in the second round. I mean, that's what I would guess, because I think Tom has that, like, I want to get that knockout.
If he can, yeah.
You know,
and
he wants it.
I picked, my official pick on verdict was second round submission by Tom. So that's kind of what I seen too. I'm right there with you. Now, what he did not expect is Cyril Gane to be as fast or even possibly faster than Tom himself. So he got tagged with fucking jabs, dude, probably 10 times. Took a jab right to the nose. Right there's a perfect one. Yep, busted that nose open. Now he's having trouble breathing. He's never had that before. Now he's got a guy who's as big as him and doing the same thing that he's doing. He's never had that before. You know, he's probably feeling the pressure. So what happens next, and I mean, we talked about earlier, bunch of fouls throughout the night. Anyway, they're doing good at taking points. They're doing good at making these calls. Uh, but we got like I don't even know how much longer. It was the last minute of the fight. Had to be the last minute of the first round, and he pokes him in the eye. He fucking rakes his eye. He does both fingers in the eyeball. There's a good picture of it. Didn't look like that bad when we were watching it live, but then you go back and watch, and he is fucking knuckle deep in each eye at two different times. He goes left eye, then right eye.
When I seen it, uh, he poked him in the left eye, and then Loroshenko was like, I wasn't even looking at the left. I was looking at the right eye, and I was like, why the fuck you looking at the right eye? It's like you could tell it all happened on the left, and then when they showed this part in the replay, and then you could see that in the right eye, his fucking finger goes under his eyelid,
Yeah.
and then pops his eyelid up and out.
And then on his
So not only is he knuckle deep with his middle
finger,
finger
yep.
and the left eye, he is fucking flipping his eyelid open with his right finger.
Just giving him the old
Yeah.
Damn, bro. I don't. So now we know exactly how the John Jones fight would have went.
So this is a little off topic, but our dad doesn't watch fights or anything, and he come in here and was asking how they were, and I told him what happened, and he said, "What? He don't got the fucking Three Stooges technique," and then put his hand up between his eyes.
Fucking shark fin.
And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Well, he should learn that." But a lot of UFC fighters need to learn that fucking technique.
All right.
I thought it was funny. It helped calm the mood down when it happened.
I was so disappointed. He couldn't continue.
I was too.
It hurt. The fight was just getting good.
And all the fucking terrible fucking takes coming out about it pissed me off just as much.
That Tom quitting, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Well, did you watch the after show at all?
With Bisping and all them. I think I seen
No,
clips.
it was Chael's son and fucking Anthony the Lionheart Smith calling fucking Tom a pussy.
The Lionheart?
Yeah. He calling him a pussy because he quit the fight, and they both had the take of, well, it's a heavyweight fight. If you get poked in the eye, you're supposed to lie about it because you're a fighter and continue fighting. You never say you can't see because that just means you wanted to quit. And then Lionheart, of course, Anthony, was just like, well, in Singapore, I got poked and I didn't stop. And then his eye swelled up like a fucking balloon. And didn't he lose that fucking fight?
Most likely. Oh, he got poked in the eye against John Jones. He could have won the belt. I mean, that's the coolest thing about Anthony Smith that will ever be, and that's the legend of Anthony Smith, is he could have been the first guy to take that belt from John Jones by saying he couldn't see, but he didn't. He took it like a man. He got back in there and he fought. And I will say, this isn't a good look for Tom Aspinall, but it's not a bad look.
No. I think it's more worse for Cyril Gahn than anybody else.
It's okay, so I will get to that too. I will say that it's not a good look for Tom, especially because he was getting his ass kicked up to that point. It was a pretty even fight, but he was wearing the damage. His nose busted right off the bat. He was tagging Cyril. He was making Cyril scared. He was doing weird spinning shit, which I really wish he would not do because he does not do that normally. And like DC said, dude, don't do that shit because you're gonna be tired later in the fight from doing dumb shit like that. Anyway, yeah, don't do this shit. But he looked like he was losing that fight. And then up to the point where, he took an out, and then he took an out.
I can see that too. But I also see the point of it's your belt, you're champion. You just got poked in the eye so goddamn bad that you can't fucking see. And not just one eye, both eyes.
Both eyes. And Cyril Gahn, dude, he is.
That's what it's there for.
It's not looking good. The last 3 fights he's been in, he's got fouls called on him. Everyone always talks about when he beat Bam Bam Tuivasa, he was punching him in the back of the fucking head with hammer. He was hammer fisting the back of his head, standing. Tuivasa was running away, and he was hammer fisting him in the back of the fucking head. It did not look good. I seen it in real time and was like, oh shit. But honestly, I've seen a thing too. Nasruddin Imavov kind of does the same shit, and they are both French fighters. So as French fighters, are they dirty? I don't know, but they kind of like to stretch the fucking rules a little bit. It looks like.
I seen a post from Jim Miller, who was talking about it.
I've seen it too.
And where he was talking about how like you have to actively open your hand up
Yeah, those
like
gloves
that.
kind of keep your hand at a
Yeah.
kinda. I mean, Pride gloves did it the best because they came up to like the fucking third knuckle,
Yeah,
so
the
they
cup.
made you
But
clip your hands.
he just said like it just naturally curves your hands and that you
Hmm.
have to actively keep it straight. And he was like just talking about like you have to do it. Like you have to actively keep your
Force your
hand up. Like it don't
fingers.
it
Yeah,
don't yeah.
and I agree
So
with.
like
I mean, it does look like and they make the fucking thing where you can do this, but you can't do. You can put your hand up like a stop, but you can't put your fingers out like you're getting your fucking nails done or whatever they say. But
you shouldn't
you
you
shouldn't.
shouldn't be able to do that. If you're backing up, you should like cup your hand down. Like you should do like a fucking gorilla paw or something. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? Like you should never have your fingers pointed up.
No.
And I've been that way for John Jones. Even when I was a John Jones fan, when he was dominating and fighting Gustafson and shit like that, I've always said that. I was like, why don't they just make them where they have to like cup their hands downwards?
Well, he's
Because
the
like,
reason you can't stick your fingers straight out. He is the reason the
yeah, you
fucking
can't point
stupid stop
anymore.
sign,
But
stop thing.
all you have to do is turn your hand up, and you can still poke people in the eye that way.
Well, yeah, your fingers are exposed. But
Yeah.
I mean, eh, Brendan Schaub said it the best. He said this a million times. He said, "You know how to make it stop? You take a fucking point every goddamn
Yeah.
time. You take a point every
And
time they get kicked in the balls. You take a point every time they get poked in the fucking eye. It will stop. They will fucking
that's what
realize
yeah.
it will go around doing that shit. It's not gonna happen."
That's what Jim Miller said too in that same post. As he said that too, and he says if it happens again, instead of another point, they take a like a percentage of the
Money.
points away.
Yeah, I like that, dude. It will not happen. As much as you think it's
Yeah.
accidental and people think it's accidental, it looks
And like
accidental,
I think they
it will
need to
stop.
like uh classify eye pokes in two different ways. If it's like a punch and they get them with the thumb, I think that's different.
That's different, yeah.
But when your
That
hand is
right
out and
there,
you're
that's a fucking
fucking
foul.
doing when you're doing the stop, hey stop, I'm backing up, I'm putting my hands up to stop you. Why not have that be a fist? It's doing the same thing. It's doing the exact same thing. If you put your fist up against someone's face and push, you're doing the same exact thing as your fucking flat hand. So I don't know why. Like,
Yeah,
I don't
you
get it.
shouldn't, especially with like Cyril Gahn and Tom Aspinall. They're both they're strikers. There's no reason your fucking hand should be open anytime. You're not a grappler, Cyril Gahn. What the fuck are you
Mhm.
doing? Now you're holding Tom
Yeah.
Aspinall's face like a fucking bowling ball because your goddamn hands are open. And now we're out of fucking main event. You're out of third fucking title shot. You'll probably get 4. There's nothing else for us
It's
to
gonna be an
do.
immediate rematch.
It's gonna be
I
an
believe.
immediate rematch, and nobody really
They're
wants
gonna.
to fucking see that. But there's nothing else happening.
Yeah, there's nothing else at heavyweight to happen.
And like everyone said, the only thing Tom had to do was beat Cyril in a more impressive fashion than John did, which we knew wasn't going to happen. We all knew he wasn't going to beat Cyril that way. I thought, I don't know what I thought, honestly, dude. This was going to be a fucking real test for Tom because he probably was going to get, drug into, everybody says they're going to drag him into deep waters. This probably was the one where he would have got to the second or third round. But, man, it wasn't looking good, was it? Was not looking good.
No. Well, but like I said, I think that was just his plan was to see what can I do in the stand up, and then if I can't do anything in the first round, when I go to the second, well, wrestle him. It's just testing the waters.
Yeah.
Bring him back to what you say, just testing the waters and see what he can do. Because ain't Cyril gone like a kickboxer?
Yeah, he's one of the best in the fucking.
So he just wanted to see if he could stand with that. And I mean, he
That's
wasn't
yeah.
doing the greatest, but he didn't get knocked out. He got fucking eye poked out of oblivion.
Well, now hopefully this will teach him a fucking lesson of go in there and win. Don't go in there and try to fucking look like you're better at him at everything, or trying to fucking. I don't know what he was trying to do, man. He very clearly probably could have out-grappled him. I don't understand why he didn't try, but we're not him. Maybe I don't know, dude. But this is what happens. You get fucking double poked in the eye like a fucking idiot. God, dude, it looks so bad.
This is a bad angle. Yeah, dude, just that fucking flat hand, dude. Just pisses
Cyril
me off.
feels bad, and he really does. But I think he feels bad for himself. I don't think he feels bad for Tom or the fucking people that bought this shit.
That's what I say. Does he feel bad that he done it, or does he feel bad that like he got trouble and it ended the fight after he done it? If he just poked him in the eye and then Tom continued to fight and then he won, and at the end of the fight he's gonna say, "I feel bad for poking him in the eye that bad." If they continued to fight, no, he wouldn't give a shit. He's mad or upset because the fight ended. It ended that way.
Yeah. And I mean, like you said, he was just now getting going, and he was winning. So I mean, of course he's going to be upset. I said I'd mention my theory from earlier. Let me tell you why the heavyweight division has went to shit, and that's because goddamn John Jones has entered the fucking heavyweight division. Light heavyweight was the same fucking problem. Dude, he's fucked up the goddamn log flow. Log jam is John Jones. He's fucked up every one of these top fighters' fucking resumes and schedules. He's held Tom for a fucking year through his prime for no goddamn reason at all. Watching that, he probably figures, damn, I probably could have made $30 million just going in there and poking him in the eye. But that's not what happened. He let Cyril Gahn go in there and take it just to test Tom out because he was scared of Tom. No matter what the fuck he said, he was scared of Tom. I don't know, man. He's really fucked up this whole division. And now we got the best heavyweights on the planet, right? We got Tom Aspinall, Francis Ngannou, who don't fight for the UFC anymore. We'll say John Jones. Why not? And Cyril Gahn, right? That's probably the 4 best heavyweights on the planet right now, right? Say anybody else?
Not really. I mean, we could look at the heavyweights.
None of them have won a fight in like a fucking 2 years.
Yeah, because
of John fucking Jones. Because every time his name gets brought up, everybody want to wait on him. It's not even like a money fight because I don't know. Maybe it is a money fight. But
even though it's because one person wants that money fight and it stops the whole division.
I don't fucking get it, dude. Who cares about John Jones, dude? At this point, beating him in heavyweight wouldn't even be that impressive because everyone's going to just say you were bigger than him. If Tom Aspinall beat John Jones, it would never be because he's a better fighter. It's because he's younger, bigger, faster. That's all it would ever be.
You wouldn't beat him in his prime.
Wouldn't beat him in his prime. You wouldn't beat him if he was the same size. So what do you fucking want, Tom? I mean, I get the payday. I get that. Amen, brother.
But I don't. At the end of the day, though, like, is it truly Tom's fight or UFC or Tom's fault or the UFC? Like, if they're like, well,
good point.
We'll give you another fight, but the John Jones fight might happen and we'll get a bunch of money for it. So just wait for him to sign the contract. Oh, we know you want to fight, but
I don't know. I feel like if Tom was like, I'm ready to fight, which he did say that a bunch of times during that, but he may have just been saying that to keep good faith or good face. Yeah. They probably would have let him fight, dude. I mean, probably if he was like, give me fucking Derek Lewis right now, they'd be like, God damn it, next weekend or fucking, line him up.
But if he did that and then lost, then there's that fight gone, that John Jones fight gone for the UFC itself. Because all UFC cares about is how much more money can they get in their fucking pocket. Let's not pay the fighters. Let's not make this sport better. It's how much money can the owners get in their fucking pockets.
I don't even know if it's like that anymore because they're set, dude. They've made that $4 billion fucking sell, and they don't care. They don't do pay-per-view anymore. So why would they care?
You say that, but here's Dana White off making 7 different organizations offer money. Shit that no one's ever going to watch.
I don't know if it's even for money anymore. He knows they're not going to make money. I think he wants to take something so stupid and new that he's the one that's like, I created that. Because I think he feels that way with MMA and the UFC. I think he really thinks, like, I brought this up from nothing. I could do it again. And it might just be an ego thing because he's set for money. I mean, none of these, dude, he don't need to, he could stop right now and be fine. You don't think?
But that's not what billionaires and millionaires
That's not what he's doing. That's what I'm saying. It's his ego.
I made $30 million. Let me stop. No, their whole thing is how much more money can I get? How much more millions can I get?
I mean, thank God the pay-per-view model is going away. So they say. They'll probably still have pay-per-views, but thank God because shit like this, dude, it can't be happening, buddy. You cannot do this, Dana White. That was bullshit.
Maybe they're getting rid of the pay-per-view model because they might be losing money.
I don't think they're losing it. I don't think so. Maybe. How do you figure?
They're not making like Conor McGregor pay-per-view money. You know what I mean? When Conor fought Khabib, there's people people that I know that didn't watch UFC that bought that card.
But that's just extra because either way, like they're making money at the fucking door. They're pricing their fans out. It's
Yeah,
like
and
$8,000 for a fucking seat
yeah,
at the
and then
UFC.
there's sponsors
So,
too. Like, there's gonna be a
there's
sponsor that's
sponsors.
like, I want to be on that mat when Conor McGregor fights, or I want to
Exactly.
be on that mat when so and so fights. So then they're getting money from that, but they're not gonna be like, well, I want to be on that money when fucking Chris Barnett shows his ass. I want to be on that thing when fucking Tom Aspinall gets poked in the eye. They're not gonna throw out all this money and all this extra shit for people and fights,
Which
that
they don't
care
know.
about.
Well, they don't know it. Basically, I mean, maybe they know the fighters leading up to that, but I don't know if they know like
I don't think there's
the advertisers like there's a Connor card coming up. Make sure our fucking Subway logo's on there on that card. I think they just put in and then you get on there. I don't know.
I don't think there's enough fighters that have that draw anymore. That's what I'm saying.
There's definitely
I
not.
don't think
You're
there's
right on that.
nobody on the lever
But
that Conor McGregor was,
back
that John
to-
Jones used to be, or
But back to
You know
your
what I mean?
point,
Like-
is that the fighter's fault or is that the UFC's fault? Because they are the
I think
ones who are
it's
supposed
just,
to advertise these fuckers and supposed to make them look badass, which they do. They do the packages. They say, "Come watch this shit." I guess
I think
nowadays
a
it's
society
it's
thing.
up to the fighter to like be big on social media and all that fucking bullshit. But I don't.
No, I just think it's a society thing. I think it's just how society's changing, and we're not like people buying boxing cards as
Yeah.
much. People are buying fighting cards because a lot of the shit you don't have to buy. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, this is a
football, one of
definitely
the
out-
biggest fucking sports on the planet. You just spend a $20 subscription to YouTube Plus, and now you have every single NFL match happening.
And, I mean,
You know what I mean? That's
it's
like,
a
you
dying
don't
model for
buy-
sure.
Yeah.
But like you said, it's just there's no way you
think
can
it's just a
justify.
generation.
You can't justify selling it anymore, and it's so goddamn oversaturated. When they started doing pay-per-views, they had like 5 cards a year. Period. Every 2-3 months they had a UFC. It wasn't every fucking weekend. So now it's just oversaturated as fuck, and it doesn't mean as much as it used to.
And you're paying for cards that don't mean anything.
They don't
They're
mean
not going anywhere. They've had
most in
3 cards this year that didn't even have championship fights on them.
possibly definitely that BMF titles. I mean, that's
there's
fucking does not
definitely
count.
one.
Nobody cares about that shit, no matter how much they
There was
want you to
definitely
care.
one where it was just like a contender fight, like
On a pay-per-view?
I think so. It might be the BMF one. It might
It's
have
the
been,
BMF one,
Max Holloway and
Justin or Poirier.
Dustin.
Poirier. It was Dustin this time.
Dustin.
Yep.
Dustin.
Dustin.
So maybe it was that
He's knocked
one.
them all out. Who gives
But-
a fuck?
I just remember there was that time was like, why are we even paying for this? Why? This would have been a free card, like you said. This would have been a free card in the fucking Spike TV era.
Yeah.
Why are we paying for this?
Because they can put a belt on it, and they think that a belt change is worth $80 fucking apparently, and that's all they got, and that's the only leverage they have. That's why I'm thinking like there's not been one without a belt because it would not sell, dude. But I mean it's just the world we live in nowadays. And like I said, it's just oversaturated. They can't build stars anymore, so it's a hard way to sell shit. Now you just kind of have to fucking, I don't know. Anyway, we'll wrap this up. We're on the last.
Wrap it up.
Yeah, we're right there at the end. This was a good podcast. Yeah, man.
One more of these before we go.
Get one more eye poke. Yeah, let's look at him getting held like a bowling ball. God damn. God damn.
I'll tell the quality, but you guys can see it. Alrighty.
All right, I'm Nick.
I'm Luke.
Say it, motherfucker. He's Luke. We're the Picogram Podcast. We out of here, motherfuckers.